Welcome back, Dr. Troy Dukowitz. Here we are, Retention Secrets, where our focus is to increase patient certainty so we can increase patient retention. I'm really excited to have you here today because we are going to talk about what? The overview for the month of October. October is one of my favorite times of the year. Why? Halloween. Yes, I'm a big kid at heart. I love the ability to be able to dress up. I love the decorations that we put up in the office. It's just a fun time for everyone. And our tips this month are going to be focused about things that have to do with a little bit of Halloween in there, but obviously also our health, where we'll throw some skeletons into the mix and have a little fun with it. So let's get started. We have 5, count them, 5 Mondays this month. So that means you have 5 tips coming right at you. Week number 1. Week number 1, we're talking about sitting is the new smoking. What do we know? Research over the course of the last year has really been diving into this and how detrimental it is to be sitting all the time. The average person sits anywhere from 7 to 9 hours in a day. Now, you and I can already imagine the postures that are coming up from that, but what we're missing out on and not talking enough about is what effect this has on cholesterol, what effect this has on circulation in the body. So we're not just going to focus on a problem here, we're also going to give a solution. So this is going to be a really nice lifestyle tip to use in the practice. Week number 2. Week number 2 is going to be Pumpkinhead. Yes, we are talking Pumpkinhead. I am so stoked about this one, and here's why. You have options. Option number 1, go buy some pumpkins. Hopefully you already have these in your office anyway. I mean, it is Halloween. So you buy some pumpkins, you look for about a 6 to 8 pound pumpkin, and we have options with this. But what are we going to do? If you've ever seen or heard anyone talk about the weight of a bowling ball, is an average bowling ball is about, if you get an 8 pound bowling ball, the human head weighs about 8 pounds. And so you hold the bowling ball up close and you feel really stable here, but what happens as you move the bowling ball away? Right? It gets harder and harder to hold. Well, that happens with people in forward head tilt. You can even hear my voice change when I say that. So what we're doing this month is you're going to have these pumpkins and you actually ask patients to hold the pumpkins on the way to the adjusting room. Then the doctor, after the adjustment, this is always better after the adjustment can have the patient hop up and have this brief discussion, and then it's very Socratic. What do you think this is doing to the nerve system? What do you think this does to your health? Is it a good thing or a bad thing? So it's a really fun tip to be talking about how important posture is, but also how our posture is what? It's an outward manifestation of subluxation. So it's a really fun topic to be able to talk about. It's obviously very thematic with the month. If you don't want to do the pumpkins, no worries, you will get a hard copy tip that you can use for this one, so you can still talk about being a pumpkin head in the month of October. So it's a really fun tip to be able to talk about. Week number 3. Week number 3, we're going to dive into the vertebrae of the month. We haven't done this one in a while. So vertebrae of the month says what? We are going to focus on a specific area of the spine and talk about it. So this will be a hard copy tip. And this month we're talking about the sacrum. So it's a very simple tip that's focused on what? Well, number 1, we talk about the sacrum. We talk about where those nerves go to in the body. And then number 2, we talk about possible, always emphasizing that word, possible symptoms that may arise as a result of interference to that area. So this is a great opportunity to just hone in your energies and talking about one specific area of the spine. Now, for those of you that are naysayers when it comes to symptoms, sorry to break it to you, you're talking symptoms all the time. Even if you talk about somebody having better energy or better focus, ADD or sensory disorders, those are all things that are classified in what? Some level of symptoms that people will have. So, I have 3 words for you. Write this at the top of a piece of paper. Get over it. This is an opportunity for you to talk about the nerve system, talk about possible interference, or talk about the possible symptoms that come with interference to that area. It's a great way to generate conversation and a great way to generate what? You guessed it, referrals. Very cool, right? All right, so now we move into week number 4. Week number 4 is a precursor. It's a setup for Halloween. Here's what week number 4 is. It's glow stick week. Now, you have some options here. First and foremost, for those of you who are into branding and getting your name out there, all you have to do is contact your local print shop. People who make items like they make T-shirts and they make printing. They have a printing press. They make T-shirts and they make novelty items and things like that with your logo on them, and cups and mugs and those sorts of things. You're going to contact that business. If you don't have a relationship with one, it's a great opportunity for you to develop one. You can ask them what they have for glow sticks, and you can actually get your logo put on some glow sticks, and you can give these away during that entire week to all the patients that come in. If they don't have kids, it's okay. Everybody loves a glow stick. They're freaking fun. If they do have kids, it's a safety measure that you're giving to their children to use on Halloween. Now, you also, though, if you're going to use the glow sticks, is you're going to attach a message to that talks about how chiropractic helps to do what? Helps to increase the light in the body. It helps to create a brighter health. It helps to create a glowing individual. And there's more to the tip, but I think you get the point. Subluxation is less than the full expression of light. Chiropractic adjustment helps to do what? Helps you to express your full light. So you can then have people get the tip of the week with a novelty item. Okay? Now, if you don't want to go down that path of branding, don't. This is not a big deal. What you can do is you can still get the glow sticks, you can still attach a message to them, and make sure everyone walks out of the office with it. You can even turn this into a referral process as well, which I'll talk about by combining one of the bonus tips this month with the glow sticks. So this is something you can turn into a referral process as well. So, we have the glow sticks. Now, if you want, you can get long and skinny glow sticks, which there is a link attached to this video. You can go to Amazon and buy like 100 of these for like $8. No brainer. You give them to the kids, they wrap them around their wrist for Halloween. Hey, where'd you get those? Totally cool. We got them from our chiropractor. All right? And you still have the tip of the week that goes along with it. Everybody gets a glow stick and a tip of the week so that they still remember the message that goes along with this. So, what do you do with that glow stick, though, is what's so important. I heard Dr. Jenna Davis, talk about this quite a while ago, and I thought it was such a great example that she took these long, skinny glow sticks, and she said, look, here's how the adjustment works. You come in and you get a series of adjustments, and she just hit one little kink on the end of the glow stick, and it created light here, but the rest of the glow stick was still dull. And then she said, then you come in for some more adjustments, and we get more light. So now all of a sudden there's two segments that have light, but there's a break in the middle. There's not light here, but there's two segments with light. And she kept going through it, basically showing what? That all these adjustments start to create more light in the body. And eventually, boom, 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 the whole entire thing is lit up. Chiropractic adds light and glow to your life and your health. It's really a fun tip to do. Patients love, again, who doesn't like a glow stick? So you don't have to brand them. I wanted to bring that up from a promotional standpoint in the first place, but you can. So if you want to, go down that path. Otherwise, order the glow sticks, and then when that week comes along, you are ready to roll. It doesn't take long to get these anyway. You're ready to roll, and this is great because it sets people up for the following week, which is Halloween. If you're waiting until Monday and Tuesday, Halloween is on a Tuesday this month. If you're waiting till Monday, Tuesday, well, after you hand out all your glow sticks on Monday and Tuesday, what are you going to do Wednesday, Thursday, Friday? See, I think this stuff through. So what do? You do it the week before. You have fun with it. You can attach a tip to it if you want. You don't have to. You can talk about it at subluxation, less than full expression of light, or you can talk about it in terms of the adjustment and how the adjustment works by literally using the stick. So what they will get their glow sticks, you'll carry some around through the course of the day and have the conversation with people. Fun for everyone. Okay? Hopefully that made sense, but it's a great tip to use. Then we go to week number 5. Week number 5. Here we are. We're at the end of the month. You will still give glow sticks out on Monday and Tuesday because Tuesday is Halloween. So still go ahead and give out the glow sticks to kids when they come in. But focus the tip on twins. We're talking about twins. And the twins is the study of epigenetics that was done on 2 mice. Now, they were identical twins. And what they did is they separated the mice at birth and they brought them back together. One mouse ended up with red hair and is, well, fat. The other one is, well, skinny. So the point of this is when they started talking about genes and how genes only determine 25% of your health, which means that you have a 75% chance of changing your health outcome. So to share this tip with patients, because what are most people told over time? Everyone's told that their genes determine their health. Well, guess what? You have an opportunity to talk about this with your patients and acknowledge them for getting adjusted. Because getting adjusted is different than what most people do. Getting adjusted is helping us to move from that 25% chance of contracting something in our lives to increasing our chances of health by 75%. Who wouldn't want that? So the last tip of the month is a paper tip, and you have the opportunity to talk about epigenetics and the impact that chiropractic has on helping people to change the direction of their life and their health. That's a busy month if you go through this. Let's start all over again. Let's review from the top. Week number 1, we're talking about sitting is the new smoking. That will be a paper, or as we know, cardstock tip. Week number 2, this could be an experiential one. If you want to go ahead and grab the pumpkins, it's a great opportunity to get some hands-on discussions with your patients. This is Pumpkinhead. Week number 3 is what? The vertebrae of the month. This is a paper tip, but it's a very focused paper tip that has you talking about a specific area of the spine and what happens. What are the possible symptoms that come along with nerve interference to that area? Week number 3, we go back to another novelty item, and this novelty item is the glow sticks. A lot of fun with this one, so I hope you're going to dive in on this. And week number 5, we talk about twins, and the twins and genes, and how genes don't necessarily determine our health. That is a busy month, and I hope that you're excited about it. So that's what we have for the overview of October. What do we have next? Oh, I wish I had that drum roll. I got to find a drum roll. What do we have next? We have your bonus tips. So we've got a couple of really good bonus tips for you this month. First and foremost is kind of like a super bonus, and that is to turn this into a referral month or have a referral week, in which point you'll have what could be called a spooktacular offer. I heard that from Heidi Farrell a long time ago. You can have a spooktacular offer, or I've always liked bring a friend day, but in this particular case we do this. Bring a ghoul or goblin week. So who do you know type of a process. This is a referral card where you're inviting people to refer a ghoul or goblin, a friend or family member, to the office. And you can switch that. Your family members might be ghouls and goblins might be your friends. But you give them basically you spend the entire week focusing on referrals. And who do you know that could benefit from coming to the office and getting checked for subluxation? And you have a focused referral week in the office. Now, if you haven't done this for a while, it's probably time to do it. So you don't want to do these all the time because it's kind of overkill. But at least once a quarter, not a bad thing. So we have an opportunity right now to go ahead and seize the moment. Over the last couple months, we haven't talked referrals. This is a great chance to do it right now. This is a paper tip, and you merely hand it out to everybody. Let's say if you want to do it for the month, that's fine, or maybe you want to do it in the middle of the month. And you say, hey, you have 2 weeks. You have till October 31st. Must make your appointment now, and then if you have an offer, you go ahead and give them that extended offer to that particular date. So that's number 1. Number 2 is the question of the month. This rolls off of last month. If you did your job and had some fun with History Month in chiropractic, then the question becomes this. What was the first adjustment for? So don't worry, if you didn't dive into Birthday Week or Founders Week in chiropractic, I don't know why you wouldn't, but if you didn't, don't worry. It still opens up a conversation for you to have with your patients about what the first adjustment was for. If you did have the conversation with people, we're going to see how much they're retaining. Now remember, this is all relatively new information for them, so don't be shocked if they don't know the answer. You might get a lot of, oh man, I totally remember us talking about that. But it's a great way for us to get a little bit of a gauge of how much were they actually paying attention. Repetition, right? Repetition is the mother of learning. So what do we know? We know that just a one hit on an educational piece is not going to always nail it. We have to keep educating so that people can learn more. In this particular tip, we're talking about history. Heck, I don't remember history that I learned in school. That's history. So they might not have the answer to this. Don't get discouraged. No matter what, it opens up the opportunity for you to talk about what? What the first adjustment was for. Whether they were in the office last month or not. It's a great bonus tip. Okay? And then finally we have your safety valve. Yeah, I'm throwing something different into the mix. The safety valve. What is always your safety valve? The safety valve is always a recap. When all else fails, go to the safety valve and have recap week. That merely says what? When I'm done adjusting somebody and they hop off the table, I'm going to give a recap of something that I did today and how it affects their life or their health. So whatever, if I adjusted the upper cervical, I might talk about, and I do this a lot, I'll even give you this example, I do this a lot, where, as we, in the Midwest, we roll into what people will call allergy season. And so I say, look, these nerves I take my thumb just like this, I say, the nerves in the upper part of your neck go to ears, eyes, nose, throat. which means that it's very common to see interference in the upper part of the neck that has some level of impact, maybe in sinuses or allergies. And what I adjusted today was that upper cervical spine. So don't be surprised if you see that breathing becomes a little bit easier, you have better sleep, or you notice that you might notice the runny nose actually increases. Why? Because your body's trying to get rid of things. Or you might notice that the faucet gets turned off. So recap is always a safety valve that you can go back to, because all you're doing is using the patient as your tip of the week. And you're diving into something that you did to them. You're talking about the spine, the area that you adjusted, where those nerves go to, and some of the possible symptoms that come along with interference, but what are also the positives that come along when we remove the interference. All right, so that is what I've got for you. That is a great month. It's a long month with that 5th week in it and getting the opportunity to have 5 tips this month. So roll up your sleeves. Communication CA, doctor, sit down, talk about the topics. Make sure you know exactly what it is that you want to do week after week, so we have that part planned out. And hey, next Tuesday, what are you going to get? Next Tuesday, you get your first tip for the month of October. I'm Dr. Troy Dukowitz. Thank you so much for being here. Remember, our focus is what? We want to increase patient certainty so that we can increase patient retention. Have an absolutely great day. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.